Behind the stage in the auditorium, there was this old supply closet. Small, dark, the door was kind of hidden. Nobody ever used it. But this one high school junior, he finds it. He cleans it up and he starts bringing stuff in. He puts cushions on the floor, extra pillows, a lamp from his house, and he had this nice big blanket that had cats on it. At first, it's just for him. He's got a second period independent study, and he starts taking full-on naps in there. But eventually, he tells two of his friends. Then a couple seniors hear about it, and people start asking. He turns this cushiony nap room into a rental. $10 gets you that room for an entire period. One person at a time, quiet, clean, no stress. And here's the genius part. He would set up guards. A kid who would sit by in a folding chair pretending to read lines. But really, this person's just there to keep an eye on things, make sure the person doesn't get disturbed in the nap room, and make sure that teachers don't come by looking around. And they rotate guard duty based on who had the period free. It's a whole system, and nobody ever gets caught. This kid ran a genius business. It happened in high school, so this kid's older brother had just graduated, and he was working full-time at a pizza place across town. And every day, there were always leftover pizzas. Messed up orders that nobody picked up, stuff like that. So one day, the brother texts him around lunchtime and says, "Yo, we got an extra pepperoni and veggie. Want me to bring it to you, man, for lunch?" And he's like, heck yeah. So his brother comes and gives him these pizzas at lunchtime, and by the next period, he had sold 6 slices for $3 a piece. And this made him feel good. They loved the pizza, and he made some money. Now, this is not an everyday thing. It was only when there was extras, but that's what made it special. You never knew when it was gonna happen. Some days it would hit during 4th period. Some days there wasn't pizza at all. One time he sold 2 large sausage pizzas to the entire chess team. Another time he walked into drama rehearsal with a Hawaiian pizza and left with $19. It was this really cool little system that this kid and his brother had. And by spring, he's basically making like minimum wage for the amount of work he's putting in. And he never spent a dime on anything, so everything he made was pure profit. The awesome part is he ran this business with no ingredients, no oven, no store, just leftovers, a cool brother, and a little hustle. You gotta respect that. This girl was 13 years old when this happened. Her stepmom had been in her life for 3 years, but they still weren't close. She didn't listen to her stepmom, she didn't really trust her, and she would make that clear.
I don't trust you.
I don't care.
Well, that week, her dad was overseas for a funeral. So it was just her and her stepmom. And he was gonna be there for 3 weeks. So every day, her stepmom would pick her up from school at 3. But she would always come out of school late, like 30 to 45 minutes late, which is kind of crazy and a bit annoying.
I've been waiting here for 45 minutes. This is the 3rd day in a row.
And the kid would just roll her eyes.
Get over it.
So one day, the stepmom decides she's not gonna wait. She's not gonna show up. She's gonna let her figure it out herself. So the next day, she doesn't go to the school. She stays home and then she just waits. So at 7 p.m., she finally is like, yo, I should call my stepdaughter. But she doesn't answer. So she calls the school. Hi, yes, I'm wondering, is Kayla Johnson still there? Kayla Johnson? No, she walked home at around 3:30. Oh no. Yeah, she messed up. She panics, she calls the neighbors, she calls the police. Eventually, they find her in somebody's backyard a few blocks away. What happened was she tried cutting through yards to get home. Well, one yard had a dog, and it bit her in the leg. Badly. She limped away, realized her phone was dead, so she sat down and just cried. I mean, yeah, she shouldn't have went through someone's backyard, but still, this girl's 13. Her stepmom is responsible for her. The dad caught a flight that night. Are you kidding me? You let this happen. I'm at the airport right now. I am
So done.
The daughter now has a permanent scar, and the dad left the stepmom. And like I said, the girl was 13 years old. You can't just do that. Messed up. This teacher is insane for this. This class had just finished reading Lord of the Flies in English, and the teacher? She was passionate, maybe too passionate. So after they had finished reading this Lord of the Flies, the next day she tells them this. Class, we are going into the woods tomorrow. Bring a backpack full of things. We're gonna live like the boys on the island. So next day they come with backpacks full of stuff and they head to the woods. No rules, no roles, just chaos. She hands them bandanas and points to the woods behind the school. All right, go. 1 teacher and 20 students. And these weren't just regular kids. Somebody brought a pillowcase full of flour and was whacking people with it. Another kid filled a spray bottle with perfume and was spraying in another kid's eyes, trying to blind them. Take that. Soon there was turf wars, alliances, groups getting ambushed. Kids were using mud as war paint. They were getting feral. And the teacher was just standing there at the edge of the woods watching this go down like it's some sort of social experiment. Yes. 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 And it went way too far. Kids were getting bloody noses, one person was throwing up profusely, I don't know why, and the teacher didn't get in trouble for this, not even like a warning or anything. The principal didn't even know about any of this until a parent called a couple days later, but he still did nothing. And the crazy part is, the next year, this teacher did the same exact thing. Honestly, that sounds kind of fun. Genius level 1000. So this kid gets a job at the local movie theater. 2 tickets to the Helpful Cow, please. All right, enjoy the show. Well, day 3, he learns a pretty cool thing. All right, staff, a reminder, you all get free popcorn. Isn't that awesome? Best job ever. So every shift, right before close, he fills a bag with free popcorn. He ties it up and he stuffs it in his backpack. Popcorn into backpack. He goes home, goes into his bedroom, and he puts that popcorn into an even bigger bag of popcorn. It's a massive trash bag he keeps in his closet. He does this for days. His closet turns into a popcorn storage unit, and he's trying to keep the popcorn as fresh as possible. Then what he does is he takes his popcorn to school and he sells it. Like, for example, one night during a basketball game, the school is selling tiny popcorn bags for $4 each. He comes in, $2, fresh movie theater quality popcorn, $2. He goes behind the bleachers and a line forms. People are ditching the real concession stand to buy popcorn off of him. He upgrades his business too. Employees get 50% off of all candy. So one day he buys a bunch, tosses it in his backpack, and sells it at school for full price. I hear you have candy. Yep, Twix, Reese's, Butterfinger, what do you want? He's basically running concessions every day at school. And by the end of the year, he made more money selling popcorn and candy than the theater paid him to work there. And that is genius. You gotta respect the hustle. It started as this dumb thing. Some kid threw their own backpack into the air to be funny. Oh, it got caught on the top of one of the worst trees on campus. Thin branches, really high up, impossible to climb it seemed like. They tried everything. Here, I'll throw my shoe at it. Dang it. I'll throw a trash can at it. Dang it. Nothing was working. That's when one kid suggested this. Guys, we should call Squirrel Boy. No way, dude. Bro, we can't call Squirrel Boy. But there was no other option. So every school has that one kid. Well, this school had Squirrel Boy. He wore fingerless gloves. He said things like, "The ground is only a suggestion." He once perched on top of the basketball hoop during a game. "Get on from there." He scaled the brick wall on the side of the school building just to prove a point. And one time, he sat at the top of the flagpole for the entire lunch period, perched. Everybody would make fun of him, but on that day, they needed him. Somebody texted him. 10 minutes later, jogged around the corner eating trail mix. Didn't ask what happened. He saw the backpack, he saw the tree, and he knew what he had to do. I got this. He literally climbed the entire tree in like 3 seconds, and he threw that backpack down. The second he got down, he just walked away. "Thanks, Squirrel Boy." "Yeah, thanks, Squirrel Boy. Squirrel Boy's cool now." And from that moment on, nobody made fun of Squirrel Boy ever again. A beautiful lunchtime service. While everybody else ate chicken nuggets on plastic plates, a couple students disappeared every single lunch period and came back smelling like meat and potatoes. The chef, his name was Liam. "What's up? I'm Liam." Both of Liam's parents were chefs, so he grew up learning the trade. Now at school, he had cooking class first period, and he had a free period right before lunch. So he launched a business. For $30, you got a private table backstage of the auditorium, a 3-course meal he cooked the night before, fresh linens, candlelight, and music. He would reheat everything in the cooking room, and he would plate it himself, and he served it to his guests wearing an apron, gloves, and a chef hat. And the thing is, people booked this service every single day to impress their crush. "This is nice, huh? It's delicious. You really outdid yourself here." To settle rivalries, "I'll stop stealing your pencils, but you gotta stop tying my shoes together during class." "Fine, you have a deal. Tiramisu for you both?" "Ah, yes, thank you. This is lovely." Some kids even booked it to make business deals. "I'll sell your product at the basketball games, but I want 15%, 10%. But I have a new business launching soon, and I'll get you in on the ground floor, 50-50. You have a deal. Tiramisu?" "Ah, yes, please. This is lovely." And spots filled up in advance. This service was booked like 3 weeks. He only did 1 table a day. He never advertised. It was simply word of mouth. If you wanted to book, you would have to come up to him and say, "Chef, do you still offer your service?" "Absolutely. I could fit you in 2 weeks on the 17th. "I'll take it." Holy crap. You gotta respect the hustle. It was the hottest week of summer. This one kid shows up to the park with a big red cooler. He opens a chair right next to it and sits down. And when people start complaining about the heat, he pops open his cooler. And inside is dozens of popsicles. I got all sorts of flavors. Red, blue, grape, $3 each. "Oh, hey bro, where'd you get all these?" Costco, baby. And that day he sold out. And he did it again the next day. By day 3, he's got dry ice in his cooler. And the second he rolled up to the park, people were already there waiting for him with cash in their hand. Soccer kids, the basketball court kids, even younger kids with their parents. One afternoon, this happened. I'll take one red one, please. All right, that's $5. Wait, what? I thought it was $3. I'm sorry, man, it's 95 degrees. Prices go up over 90. Pretty soon, he's known as the popsicle guy. And he's walking out with like $50 to $70 of cash every single day. Business was absolutely booming. What a good summer hustle. One day, the park manager walks by. Excuse me, man, you had a permit for this? It's hot out today, isn't it? Oh, man, it's brutal. Here, take 2 popsicles on the house. My man. And that was that. He continued that for the rest of the summer. You gotta respect the hustle. Arcade ticket heist. So back in middle school, this group of friends basically lived at the local arcade. Well, one afternoon, 2 friends are walking home and they see the dumpster by the arcade place. Yo, dude, look. Is that what I think it is? Yeah, bro. Tickets. In the dumpster was bags of old tickets. Thousands, all tossed away. Well, that day started a routine. At the end of every week, they would check the dumpster and take all the tickets home. All right, haul it, let's go. And they would store them in one of the friends' garage. But then the arcade catches on and they start shredding tickets. All right, so that was over. But the boys escalate. They realize that towards the night, the employees were always high school kids that didn't really care about their job. Well, they're inside one night and they see something. Yo, look, it's a ring of keys. The keys that open up every single machine, hanging on a nail on the wall, guarded by 2 teenagers. So they had a plan. Hey, the Jurassic Park game ate my tokens. Can you guys check it out for me? You wanna go do that, Kyle? Actually, I go in the bathroom. Which game again? So now both employees are successfully distracted. The other kid slips behind the counter and takes the keys. But here's the thing. All right, I just gotta open this, we'll get your tokens back. Wait, where are my keys? Hold on. Uh-oh. Yo, where's the keys to the games? What's that? Oh, I don't know. But there's an extra set of keys right here. Boom. So now these 2 friends have keys, but there's an extra pair. So the workers didn't suspect them at all. Well, now that they have the keys, suddenly every machine in the arcade is a bank vault, ready to be emptied. And they would do this every day. Jurassic Park, they open the coin box and take all the tokens. Skee ball, they open that up and take the entire roll of tickets. Day after day, week after week, they managed to get away with taking hundreds of thousands of tickets. And then it was the big day. They load an entire van with like dozen bags of tickets and they bring it to the arcade and they haul them in there. Ugh. We want to redeem these. Ugh. Yeah, they definitely looked suspicious. But the worker goes, All right, by the end, the friends walk out with a Razor scooter, every single piece of candy the place had, a full set of Nerf weapons, half the toy wall, and a Nintendo Switch. A clean sweep. A frickin' perfect score of a heist. Eventually, the actual manager of the arcade, who was never really there, found out what had happened. But they didn't know who did it because the place didn't have any cameras. And that was a legendary heist that town still talks about. That's insane. So this kid spent his summer at yard sales. Every Saturday, he'd be out in the neighborhood scanning tables looking for sneakers at these garage sales. Didn't matter if they were brand new or perfect condition, any sneaker with a logo worked. Nike, Adidas, doesn't matter, and he was finding them. Some were $5 a pair, some were $8 a pair, some were free. Just take them, man. I don't want them anymore. Fantastic. He would take them home, scrub them with a toothbrush, swap them with brand new laces. He would then throw them up on Facebook Marketplace and eBay. And people were buying these shoes. $40, $80, sometimes even over $100. He said it was crazy how many rare shoes people were selling for like $5. His brother would come home every day from working at Subway, and this kid would just be sitting there counting his cash. His parents finally asked, Kevin, where's all this money coming from, man? And he just opened up his closet. Look at this. Reselling sneakers. By the end of summer, he had made more than his brother made the entire summer at Subway, all from reselling $5 sneakers. You gotta respect the hustle. The wrong grandkid. Every few months, she would get an envelope in the mail. Oh, sweet. It was Grandma's handwriting. Inside of it, a crisp $20 bill. And a note that said, for gas. I don't even drive, Mom. Grandma's old, sweetie, let's not question it. Money's money. Years go by and the letters keep coming. Always the same message, for gas. Then one summer, the entire family's over for a barbecue. Well, her cousin pulls up. New car, loud music bumping. He's about 5 years older than she is. What's up, family? Grandma hugs him. She's laughing. Oh, I see that gas money's going to good use. The cousin goes, gas money? Yeah, I've been mailing it to you for years. Well, this girl overheard that. Grandma, you've been mailing me that. Oh, my fault. What had happened was the grandma had written down this address years ago. It was the wrong address. It was the address of Ashley Johnson. The grandkid she meant to send it to was Adam Johnson. So all she wrote on the letter was A. Johnson. You can see where the confusion would come into play. Well, Grandma, looks like you owe me like $300 now. Oh, no. Your cousin probably needed that money more than you do. I mean, look at your nice car. You got plenty of it. That's hilarious. The fight started in the hallway, slamming into lockers, shouting, loud noises. When it was finally over, one teacher saw one kid whose shirt was ripped, and that was Ethan. Hey, I'm Ethan. Ethan didn't throw a punch. He wasn't even a part of the fight. He was just the one who was trying to pull his best friend Marcus off of the other kid. So when the principal called Ethan to the office, Ethan just took the hit. Did you do this? Yeah, I did. And what about your friend Marcus? I saw him near you. Was he involved too? No, he wasn't. It was all me. He's suspended for 3 days. When he comes back, a few people treated him a little differently, like he was some sort of bad kid. But a couple days later, his friend Marcus couldn't hold it in anymore. He felt guilty. So he went to the principal's office. He was crying. He told them the complete truth. The next day, Ethan's called in. You could have cleared your own name. Why didn't you? Nah, it just didn't feel right. Marcus has got enough stuff going on. I'm incredibly proud of you, Ethan. I am. By the end of that year, Ethan's grades aren't perfect. But the principal writes him a college recommendation letter. And it was so good that he got into his first choice college. That's amazing. One day, this group of middle schoolers decided they're gonna start a band. They got a rusty drum set, a broken amp, and one kid with a guitar who only knows like 2 chords. Well, here's what they did. They made flyers and they put them around the school. Live garage concert, $1 admission, and they put the address. Well, after school, kids start showing up to this garage. The first day it was like 10 people, and these guys come out like they're freaking rock stars. What's up, everybody? What's up? You ready for a concert? And the people are like, yeah, sure, I guess. Just play something. And they launch into their one song. Garage music! Garage music! And it ends. That's it. Play something else. But they don't know anything else, so they just played the song again. Garage music! Garage music! And those kids left pissed off. But the thing is, people kept coming back every single week and paying the entry fee just so they could boo this band. Garage music! You guys freaking suck! Yeah, you guys stink! Every time there was a garage concert, these students would bring different foods to throw at them. And the band, they didn't really care. Because they're making $15 to $20 a show for only like a minute of music. Hey, gotta respect the hustle. He got detention on his birthday. No! So apparently he was talking back to a teacher and the teacher gave him after school detention today. But it's my birthday. I don't care. So it was after school, he was in detention, sitting there, sad. He was supposed to be hanging out with his friends. This sucks so bad. But then the detention room door busted open and his 5 best friends walked in. Hey, yo, happy birthday, bro. What's up, brother? Happy birthday, man. Yo, what? The detention teacher was like, hey, you guys can't be in here. It's his birthday, man. Come on. One friend brought in cupcakes, soda, balloons, and they passed cupcakes and soda out to everybody in the classroom, even the teacher. Oh, thank you. Hey, we get a cupcake too. Of course, man, enjoy. This party's for everybody. And then they sang to their friend. Happy birthday to you. I blow out your candle, bro. And for the rest of the detention period, they were listening to music, eating cupcakes, and the teacher that tried to shut it down at first ordered a frickin' pizza. And by the end, nobody wanted to leave. You know what? There's still some pizza left and some soda. 20 more minutes, huh? Hey, nice. Honestly, best birthday ever. That's frickin' awesome. This is actually genius. There was this kid named Max in 8th grade, and he turned faking sick into a full-time business. He wasn't the popular type, but he had a knack for details. He knew every single school nurse's shift, and he knew every symptom that would get people sent home fast. One day, his buddy is stressing about a math test. Dude, I didn't study. I'm so screwed. Give me $10 right now and I'll have you home by lunch. Okay. He hands over $10 and Max goes into his backpack, and he pulls out this little, clear balloon-looking thing. And inside it was a very strange substance. Take this, go to class, put it in your mouth, and then act sick. Walk up to the garbage can and bite down. Then spit all the stuff out into the garbage can. It's gonna taste horrible, but it'll look like you actually puked. Seriously? Trust me. It also smells like real puke, so they'll believe you. Well, he goes to class and he does exactly what Max told him to do. The teacher was like, oh, sweetheart, oh my God, you're sick. Oh my God, it smells like puke. Yes, you are very sick. Go to the nurse. Go home. Bingo. Goes to the nurse calls his parents, boom, he goes home, studies for the test, takes a test a day late, and he passes. Word spreads to a few select people, and Max ups his prices, $20. Each case was specialized on different ways to get them sent home. He even had package deals where he would include like forged doctor's notes or heating pads to put on your forehead so it felt like you had a fever. And if people couldn't pay right away, he would help them out. They would just owe him. But then he would have runners that would go get the money from them, no matter what. It was a serious business. Eventually, the teachers found out about this, and this came crashing down horribly, and he was suspended. But for a while, he ran the craziest business that school had ever seen. And honestly, it's kind of genius. Gotta respect the hustle. This kid considered himself a genius. I'm a genius. He knew everything about smartphones and how to fix them. So he decided he was gonna start a business. He told people that he was running a phone repair service, and he got his first 2 customers. And done. Here's yours, and here's yours. It was easy money, and word spread really fast. Suddenly he had classmates, kids in other grades, and even people from outside of school hitting him up. And then teachers started asking him, "Hey, I heard you run a little service, so my screen's cracked. Can you fix it for me?" Absolutely. Now, prices vary depending on the severity of the damage, but he would charge $30 to fix an older phone. If it was a newer phone, it'd be around $80. And if he had to fix a camera lens or something like that, more serious, it could be up to $200. And he was smart. He didn't stop at just the repairs. He started supplying and selling phone cases as well. I got cheap cases for $10, I have wallet cases for $20, and I have designer cases for $50. Which one is it? And he would of course sell screen protectors. $5 flat, sometimes 12 if you wanted a really good one. He ran the service throughout high school, and over the years he serviced so many phones and he pocketed thousands of dollars. And honestly, that's genius. You gotta respect the hustle. When she was in 2nd grade, her older sister got glasses, and instantly she wanted a pair of glasses as well. So she told her parents.
"I can't see the board at school."
So they take her to the eye doctor. He does a test, and she's pretending like she can't see. 2 minutes in, he says, "Yeah, she's lying. She can see fine." But her parents still believed her, and they're like, "No, you better give her some glasses." He writes a prescription, and just like that, a week later, her glasses are ready. At first, she loved them, even though she couldn't really see in them because, well, she lied during that test. But she loved the frames, she loved the attention she was getting, but she kept wearing them for years. And her eyes kept adjusting to the prescription, and the prescription kept getting stronger and stronger. We'll flash forward 10 years, and now every day, she wears a pair of the thickest glasses because she actually can barely see without them now. And she's pretty sure it's because back in 2nd grade, she lied when taking the eye test, and she ruined her eyesight forever. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. One day, this kid bought a bunch of clear iPhone cases for cheap, and he had this friend who was good with graphic design. So what he would do is he would have his friend make this cool design of whatever he wanted. His friend would then print it and cut it down so it would fit perfectly inside this phone case. And it looked awesome. Clear phone case, this graphic design insert, it was legit. Custom fit, looked expensive. He did it to his phone case first. It was an anime design and it looked awesome. People saw this and they were immediately intrigued. Well, interest grew. And soon, he was taking orders for people. NBA, anime, SpongeBob, Shrek. He was making these custom phone cases and selling them. Then he starts bundling them together. 3 phone cases for $10, 6 for $15, and business was absolutely booming. He kept buying these clear phone cases. His friend kept designing these designs and custom cutting them to fit the cases, and people were buying them. They were all over the school. The thing was, his friend that was designing these and printing them was using the school's printers. The IT guy realized how much printing had been done, and he told the principal. And this whole thing had to be shut down. But by then, he had made $530. And those phone cases became collectibles. Some students even reselling them for 3 times the price they bought them for. Honestly, you gotta respect the hustle. It's a slow Tuesday morning. This guy's working at the front of a bank. He's the security guard. And it's a fairly standard shift. Doop-ba-doop-ba-doo, I'm a security guard at the bank. Now, at a bank, most people come in, they do their thing, and then they leave. Well, one day, this guy came in, he was looking pretty sketchy. Walking into the bank. Oh, crap. He sees the security guard, and then he walks back outside. And the security guard is like, yo, this is kind of weird, so he kind of walks by the door. Well, this sus guy is pacing the sidewalk, and he's on the phone. He's obviously stressed. And the security guard overhears just one sentence. "Nuh-uh, man, I am not doing this crap. You said nothing about a security guard. I will not take him out." Then, for a second, they make eye contact, and they stare at each other for a short while. And he's gone. The bank reports the situation immediately, but nothing ever actually happened, so they couldn't really do anything about it. But the security guard knew one thing. That guy was definitely gonna rob the bank that day if he wasn't there. And that's crazy. This substitute teacher had been subbing for this class a few times this year. And he's kind of an older guy. All his clothes were from JCPenney. He had a clipboard, but for some reason on this day, he was feeling a little
Feisty.
He told this 5th grader to sit down, but the kid said, "You first." The sub snapped, began saying stuff like, "You know what, back in my day, there was respect for your elders." The 5th grader then said, "Oh yeah, well what are you gonna do about it, huh? You don't wanna know." Yeah, he held a fist up like he was threatening to fight this kid. Well, the 5th grader took that as a challenge and lunged towards the teacher. And these two are actually scrapping, man. Yeah. Oh. And this whole thing was absolutely insane. This teacher, older dude but still kind of buff, was fighting with this 5th grader. And the 5th grader was winning. The entire class is going crazy. One of this kid's classmates said, "Yeah, steal his wallet, Tyrell, steal his money." That's insane. Well, one clean punch to the jaw, that teacher goes down. The room is silent. Then, starting from the back of the classroom, one clap. Then another. Then the slow clap turns into a beautiful applause. Well, the celebration didn't last long because the principal came in, tried to figure out what happened. Tyrell was, suspended for sure, and that teacher was fired. Because yeah, it's not okay for a student to fight with a teacher, but this teacher kind of threatened him and egged him on and fought back. He didn't just lose his job, he lost his license. But kids in that classroom said that was the craziest day ever. Yeah, I bet. This kid missed English class, first period. And he shows up to second period like nothing happened. People were wondering where he was. One of his friends leans in and asked, "Yo, why'd you miss English class? We turned in our essays today." And the kid just goes, "Oh, my cow was giving birth." Oh. He says it like it's the most normal thing ever. He still had mud on his boots, there was like hay coming out of his pockets, and he smelled a little weird. It was probably from that cow birth. People just nodded, like, okay, yeah, farm kid stuff. Okay. And so what if he missed English, you know? His essay wasn't gonna win any awards at the state fair anyway, but his cow might. Huh? Okay. This is the best senior prank of all time. So at this one high school, nobody knew what the senior prank was gonna be. Usually there's a warning or like someone's leaked it, but this year nothing. But right after second period, the school's front door opens and enters a mariachi band. 5 guys, full suits, giant instruments, and they start following the principal everywhere. It's kinda awesome. He's just walking normal, like checking things out. He's doing his job. He walks into a classroom mid-session, the band follows him in, the kids love it. By lunch, it's a full event. Kids got their phones out, they're filming him, they're following him around the hallways like a freaking parade, and the principal is eating this up. He thinks it's absolutely hilarious. And at the end of the day, the band leaves, and that was it. And nobody got in trouble because, let's be real, that was awesome. Like I said, brilliant senior prank. It's 7th grade and this kid Lucas brings a bunch of Costco gum to school. Tons of packs. Every single flavor. And he never made a big deal about it, but he would pull them out here and there so that people could see. And naturally, they would ask for a piece of gum. And when they did, 50 cents. Oh, I don't have any money right now. Oh, that's fine. Pay me later. And that was his thing. You know, at first people were like, he's not gonna ask for that money later, you know? It's just a piece of gum. But that's where they were completely wrong. Because after he would give someone a piece of gum and say, pay me later, he would pull out a tiny notebook and write down the debt in that notebook. Everybody had a tab. Their name, their flavor, and how much they owed. But the thing is, he wanted this debt to grow. He would walk up to them. Hey, so you still owe me from last week, but I just got this crazy new watermelon flavor. You want a piece? I'll just put it on your tab. And he just kept stacking debt on top of debt on top of debt. Until finally he decided it was time to collect. He goes to the 2 biggest kids in class. Carl? Mordecai? Yeah. I'll give you 10%. Here's the list. Get me my money. And they would go around school with the list. Hey, you got Lucas's money? I'm here to collect. And these kids were big and intimidating, and people did pay him back. Lucas made like $175 before this whole thing was shut down. You gotta respect the hustle, I guess.
ওগো কতদিন ধরে তোমার লগে আমি কথা কইতাছি মাগার
কি করো নাইকা হ্যাঁ আরো থেকে আউনের পর থেকে কি করতাছো ফোনের ভিতরে হান্দায় রইছো
আব্বা তো মাগো মা আব্বা তো দেখি হেভি পাঙ্খ
নিশ্চয়ই কোনো ভেজাল আছে ওই দেখি কার লগে ফিল্ডিং মারতে
কি আবার সকাল সকাল ঘুম ভালো হইছে তোমার আব্বার লগে দেখা কইরা এলাম হাইটটা গেছিলাম এই ঘটনা
তুমি রাগ করো না
রাখতে তুমি করবা, খাড়া খাড়া চায়া দেও।
আমি তো ভাবছি ডাকাত পড়ছে নি।
এই শাহজাহানগর বাড়িতে ডাকাত আইবো এমন কোন মায়ালাল পয়দা হইছে নি? তোমার বিছানা আমি ভিজায়া দিছি গা।
এটা তুমি কি করছো?
কি করছি, ঘুমাইবা না?
তোমার পূর্বপুরুষের মাথায় কি সমস্যা ছিল আব্বা?
ওর নাটকের পর কয় কি শুনছো ওই বেটা?
আব্বা জান, আপনার পোলার এখন জিগান তো রুটি গরম না ঠান্ডা?
বাপরে বাপ, শুনছো নি একেবারে ডর দেয় তো বলে খুশি খুশি করে কাটতো হয়েছে। আপনার ডর আপনার পকেটে থুয়া দেন।
খানদানটা আমার কত উচ্চা দেখতে হইব না?
দেখতেছি তো উঁচা ভি আর লম্বা ভি কুচি কুচি করে না কাইটা ফেলাইছি আব্বা। আমার তো মনে করে যখন ডর দেখাইতে দেখাইতে আমি দেখেন আপনি কি করি। ঘরে আইলাম না, এখন দেন না আসমানে ঠাড়াল্লা আর একেবারে কাঁপায়া দিমু।
আচ্ছা, আপনার
এর লাগা চুপ আছিলাম, কিন্তু অহনা চুপ থাকান যাইবো না।
কিরে সাজান,
আমরা মানি না, আমগো খানদানে আমরা এক গ্লাস পানি পর্যন্ত ডাইলা না খাই।
আমাগো খানদানে আছে।
এই ভাবি একটা ফালতু খানদান থেকে আইছে, এইসব খানদানের আমি ধারদারি না।
চলো না আমরা বাড়িতে ফিরে যাই।
তুমি কি পাগল হয়ে গেছো নি? এইটাই আমার বাড়ি এখনতে।
চৌধুরী সাহেবের সাথে আমি কি কথা কইছি? তুমি কোনো কথাই কই নাই কা? সাজান তোমারে কইলো এত
দিচ্ছেন? হ্যাঁ দিচ্ছেন না? এলা বাইরন, আমার বাড়িতে বাইরন।
একবারে হাসা করছেন আব্বা জান। আপনার পোলার এই বাড়ি থাকা কোনো বিতলামি করলে আমি তোরা ঘাড়াই, কিন্তু ভাবলাম আপনাকে একমাত্র পোলা ঘাড়াইলে আবার দিলে চোট পাই।
দিতাছো তুমি?
শোনো, তোমাগো খানদানে যেমন কিছু নিয়ম আছে, আমাগো খানদানেও আছে।
এইসব ফাত্রা নিয়ম কেউ যেন জানবার না পারে, মনে থাকবো তো? তোর যে নতুন বাবি
হয়ে যাইবো।
যা মন চায় তাই করো, এই ফোন আমি দিব না। কার লগে কথা কইতাছো? হ্যাঁ,
আমার ফোন দাও।
আরে বাপ রে বাপ, কইতেছো কি তুমি? আমার খানদানি পোশাক আমি খুলে ফেলামু, তুমি কি আমার অর্ডার করতেছো?
শিউলিমালা যা কয় তাই অর্ডার।
শেষে আমি দেইকা লমু কিন্তু কয়ে দিলাম।
আম্মা
ওই কি ভাবতেছো? ভাবা ভাবি বাদ দাও কইলাম। অহনি পোশাক চেঞ্জ করে আসো, নাহলে তোমার সারা রাত গা চুলকাইবে। আমি শাহজাহানের আব্বা আম্মা দিলে চোট পচাইছি, এর প্রতিশোধ নিতে গিয়ে শাহজাহান তোমাকে মধ্যে।
বইয়ের হাতে মার খাওয়া চলে, তাই কিছু কই নাই কা।
আমাগোর খানদানে জামাই মারনের নিয়ম নাই কা।
তুই আমার এখান থেকে যাবি না মানে কি? অক্ষণ তুই বাইরবি।
আব্বা
তুমি কিন্তু আমার একটা ভিডিও কলও করো না। সোনিয়া, অ্যাঞ্জেল সোনিয়া।
তুমি কি শুরু করছো?
আরে আমি করলামটা কি, আমি যেখানে বয়ে আছি।
এই আমার ফোন দাও, দাও কইতাছি।
ছাড়ুম না।
কি দাও? ছাড়ো কইতাছি, আমার ফোন দিব না আমি।
এইটা আমগো খানদানি রীতি, তুই বুঝোস না?
আব্বা গতকালকে রাত্রে বেলা এমন সেটিং দিছি।
আব্বা ফোন দিয়ে কি করেন আপনি?
এই কথা কই, গান শুনি, এই আর কি।
বাস এই দুইটা কামের জন্য।
হায় হায়, করছে কি আমার খানদানির ইজ্জতের ফালুদা খেয়ালাইছে।
তোবা তোবা, কোস কি এত বড় বদ জামাই।
হারামজাদা আমার মা।
শাহজাহান,
শাহজাহানের সাজদা বাগান হুয়ে গেছে গা।
শাহজাহান হুনো না।
কও।
বুঝার পারলাম না, বাড়ি মারলা আমারে, কান্দলা আমি কাঁদুম, তুমি কাঁদতাছো কেলা?
তারপর আর কি, সারা রাত কই আসলো কি করছে আমি জানি না, আমার লাগে কেউ।
আপনি তো আপনার শ্বশুর বাড়িতে গিয়া ঠিকই হ্যাঁ নিয়ম কানুন অক্ষরে অক্ষরে পালন করছেন, আর আমার তে আয়া মিছা গপ।
তুমি কি কইবার লাগছো এগুলা? তোমার কি মাথা আউট হয়ে গেছে নি? এত বড় স্পর্ধা আমার আদেশ। আর আমি যে তোর রুমে আইছি, রাইতে ঘুমাইছি,